when experience matters the most. Senior Housing Solutions uses over 30 years of industry knowledge to provide expert advice for those considering a move to a senior living community. We are the matchmakers of senior housing. Call today at 239-595-0207 for your free consultation.
All right, welcome to the Aging Game podcast with Bruce and Susan.
Thank you, Susan. Great to be here.
I am excited for us to do this together.
It's taken a lot of planning.
It definitely has. I think this has been something we started back in November we talked about.
I believe you're correct.
I'm excited to get this going and share this with our community and bring our information and stories to life.
So we wanted to give an idea of what the purpose of this podcast is all about. And, Susan and I, have a lot of experience in helping people in home care and senior housing and a lot of different stories we want to share. And we feel that people need to have a plan. And too many times people don't have a plan. And so we wanted to share our wisdom and have a dialogue so people can gain knowledge, be prepared, develop their own plan, and bring resources to people that people may not know about. We're going to share stories. Some are going to be funny. Some may bring a couple of tears, but we're gonna have a good time during this journey. So
definitely, I think when we came up with the podcast, one of the things that was at the core for both of us was in both of our industries, as we work independently and then together, we're seeing a lot of people that don't really know what the options are out there as they're aging. They're making decisions based off of limited information, and so many people are making decision in a crisis mode. And I wanted to come up with a way that we could really bring local content, local experts, our professional experience, and then our passion to help seniors, not just in our community, but throughout Florida. And hopefully, we can share this throughout the United States, because people really need to think about this earlier than they do. We see so many people that are making a decision in that crisis moment, that midnight call from, mom that dad fell, or a loved one waking up to see that their spouse fell. And then they're thinking, oh my gosh, now I need a plan. And we really want to encourage people to, as you think about retirement, think about all components of aging and create what we call a life plan. So I think that's really how we came up with the podcast and, calling it the Aging Game. I love the analogy that we've kind of come with chess. Chess is a complex game, and with a great strategy, you can win the game. So that's what, I really hope that we can help our listeners accomplish here.
And just like in chess, every move is planned. And so every move that you make is thought through and is planned ahead, and you're just not leaving it up to chance. I heard a quote the other day, and I think it's very appropriate, that the best way to solve a problem is to prevent it from happening. And so having this plan in place and talking about things and trying to take denial off the table and saying, okay, we're going to get older, things are going to happen, what are we going to do, and what's our plan? And so this is what we're going to do, and we're going to help people create this blueprint. So, because people don't talk about, this life plan. They talk about maybe a financial plan or a tax plan, but they don't talk about the what ifs and how things are going to change as people get older. So we're gonna go through this, and we're gonna provide a lot of great information, and we're excited.
Yeah, definitely. I love that with each episode, we want to share a statistic that's relative to the topic at hand for each episode. So I wanted to share with you one that I found that I think really encompasses our overall topic and goal here, which is research shows that 65% of adults over 75 can expect to need long-term care during their older years, making planning for aging care needs a necessary part of what I call life planning. Most people, when planning for retirement, they fail to include long-term care needs in their plan.
And when you think about that statistic, about basically 2/3 of the people over age 75 are going to need long-term care, then you have to break it down saying, well, that's just long-term care. How many of those people are going to need home care? How many of those people are going to need assisted living? How many people are going to need memory care? How many people are going to need rehab? So that percentage is probably much higher, probably closer to 80, 85%, because, that percentage is just talking about long-term care, and we got to talk about other components of care.
Absolutely, all aspects A to Z. So I look forward to diving into all of this and helping our listeners explore this, and I look forward to doing this journey with you.
Great. Me too, Susan. Okay, so I am Bruce Rosenblatt. I am the matchmaker of senior housing, and I have been involved in senior housing for over 30 years, so 3 decades of senior housing, and I have worked for some of the leading companies in the nation for senior housing. I have overseen 75 different senior living communities in 14 different states, including 3 here in Southwest Florida. And I was actually commuting from Naples to Tucson. So I was commuting back and forth, and for 3 years I did that. And I would leave early on Monday morning and come home late Thursday night. Never saw my wife, never saw my dog, and I was just killing myself. And through all those time, people would call me and say, Bruce, what do you know about this place? And what do you know about this place? And I need help trying to find a place for my mom. So I had that kind of in the back of my mind. And so I was stuck in Houston. I was laid over in Houston. And I said, the heck with this. I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to use my knowledge and my experience to help people and to form a business. And so 2008, I formed Senior Housing Solutions. And this is all that I do, is to help people navigate through some difficult decisions regarding senior housing. And so I formed my company. We're going on our 16th year. And we've also, developed strategic relationships with a number of excellent local companies, including Brightstar. And so, that's sort of been the key to our success. And I provide a very personal service. It's my company, and it's, I'm locally owned. And so I provide a one-on-one service. I go to people's homes. I help them. We talk about things. I get to know who they are. And we go on tours together. I help people figure out the different contract terms and, every step of the way. And so that's what I do. And I'm very happy. I meet some wonderful people, and I've helped hundreds and hundreds of people through this decision process. And I'm pretty much considered the expert on senior housing in the area. And so I know sort of the inside, the inside workings of all these different senior communities. And it's very complex, and it's a complicated decision. And we work through it together.
Yeah, with experience like yours, I know that I'm very lucky to be doing this with you. You've always been someone in the community that I've respected, and definitely I can say you are the expert and the go-to for your field. There's no one doing what you do, how you do it, like you do it. So the community is very lucky to have you here doing this.
Thank you, Susan. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, I'm Susan Nimnuin, the Vice President of Brightstar Care. I joined Brightstar Care back in 2013, and I was looking for a healthcare position here in Southwest Florida. I had recently located from Michigan and was looking to do something similar to what I did in Michigan. I worked in a radiology department up there and learned that down here how things run a little differently in healthcare, and stumbled upon a position for Brightstar. I was fortunate enough to get the position, and over the years have worked my way up to vice president. So Brightstar Care is a private duty home care agency. We provide skilled services, so nursing, PT, and OT, as well as personal care services with home health aides and certified nursing assistants throughout Collier and Lee County. Our business is locally owned and operated, and we opened in 2006. We are Joint Commission accredited, which is the gold standard in healthcare. It really validates our commitment to quality and safety in the care that we provide. All of our care is overseen by our wonderful director of nursing, Ellen, and our team of nurses. So I love that our services, very similar to yours, are very personalized. We're coming out to the home, we're meeting the client, we're meeting the family. We're developing a care plan that's tailored to their needs. So taking their wishes, their wants, as well as our recommendations from the RN assessment that we do, as well as any recommendations or requests from medical providers. And we're creating that personalized plan of care that's comprehensive and meets their needs. And then a pretty unique thing about us is that I understand in home care, there is an amount of downtime. You know, a lot of time that we're there for an extended period of time. And some of that is just downtime. You know, there's only so much time to bathe or dress or whatnot. And we have a program called Purposeful Engagements, which is where we get to know the client, we get to know who they were, what their likes are, what they love, and we create a program that is geared towards creating a compatible match with them and the caregiver. So we make a kit and we bring it out to the home that is full of activities that the client can be successful at wherever they're at in their journey. And that will help build a relationship and a rapport between them and that caregiver to build a trusting relationship, one that's built on compassion and really fills that time with purpose. So I love being able to spearhead programs like that are making a difference in the lives of the seniors that we work with.
Bright Star Care of Naples and Fort Myers, providing exceptional in-home care. At Bright Star Care of Naples and Fort Myers, we believe that you and your loved ones deserve nothing but the best. Our team of highly trained nurses and caregivers are committed to delivering the highest standard of in-home care. We offer a wide range of both medical and non-medical services to cater to your specific needs. From companion care and personal care to skilled nursing and therapy services, our professional care team is here to meet your needs, both now and in the future. Bright Star Care is proud to provide the highest quality of care and prioritize in-home safety. We are accredited by the Joint Commission, and all care is overseen by a registered nurse. With Bright Star Care, you can have peace of mind knowing that your loved one is in the best hands. To learn more about Bright Star Care of Naples and Fort Myers, visit us online at brightstarcare.com or give us a call at 239-992-4779. We are available 24/7 to answer any questions you may have. Bright Star Care of Naples and Fort Myers, where exceptional care meets compassion. Locally owned and operated since 2006.
That's awesome, Susan. You know, and I think we recognize, like, during the COVID pandemic time, that people, you know, were isolated. They weren't socializing with people, and so your engagement program, being able to get people involved and socialize with people, so important. I want to add that, you know, it's great working with you on this podcast, and you know, and I think the people at Bright Star, you know, I think I know John, and I'm sure he appreciates everything that you do, but you are very organized, and this podcast, you know, we've been working on this, and you are very organized and you're very structured, and this would not be happening without all your hard work. And so you're a hard worker, and you're very organized, and you know,
OCD.
Right, you're spot on. OCD, we'll take it.
I will happily take it. Yeah. Thank you for those kind words. I think one great thing to share is really how we came together on this. For me, you know, I had been dreaming of a podcast for a while, and, you know, was definitely too nervous to ever venture and do something so wild and bold on my own. And, you know, getting to know you over our partnership, learning, you know, just about your values as a person and in this industry, I think so much align with ours, and specifically, you know, with mine personally. I understand that seniors, you know, maybe a senior community is right for them and home care isn't. Maybe home care is right for them and a community isn't. Maybe they need both. There's definitely a time where transitional care and we come together makes a successful match for a client. I think that's the thing I've always loved and respected most about you, is that your commitment is to the best outcome for the senior. And that's really what I want. I love to meet people. I love to learn their stories. But mostly, I love to be a part of them achieving what their wishes are as they age. And I've always understood that, I would love that to be Bright Star. Obviously, I'm passionate about home care, but I understand that that's not for everyone. And so when I'm not the right solution for them, knowing that I can refer to someone that has all those same values, that same commitment to the right outcome for them, like, it's never a second's hesitation. I'm never sad about, oh my gosh, did I lose that business? Like, I know that that client is winning. And so I think that that passion is really what made it easy for me to come together in this journey to bring our passion for, just that, helping them achieve their dream as they age.
And I know, we agree that education is important. And so, the foundation of this podcast is all about educating people. And so, that is something that I know you do, something that we do. And, it's so important that people, use this knowledge. There's the saying that knowledge is power. And so it's so important that we use this knowledge and we share so people can develop their plan for the future. So
absolutely.
It's awesome.
Yeah, this will be great. I look forward to it. All right. So, as listeners, what can you expect from us? Well, there's a variety of things that we want to provide you. I think first and foremost, I want to speak to that education and that awareness, that advocacy that we're so passionate about. That's really what we want to do. There's a lot of lack of knowledge, lack of education, lack of awareness, but also there's a lot of misconceptions about aging and the journey, and we want to dispel all that. Really want to bring quality content, quality information, and bring it from local experts. I think one thing that we haven't touched on is our commitment that everything we do is really based local. We like to meet local professionals, local resources. The biggest thing I know we both do is say, stay off the internet, stay off the Google, meet people that really know those resources, and bringing those, I think, is going to be great. We obviously want to bring information that's going to help you create the best plan for your loved one. Maybe that's creating a plan for yourself and your spouse or your parent or grandparent. But we want to help bring all of that information so that as you're developing that plan, it's embracing your wishes, your wants, and your needs. I think that's so important. I think one thing I'm really excited about is sharing community events. We live, in paradise. There's so much going on here, and I, am excited to share some of those fun events we have coming up, educational events. And then, one thing I really hope to create is friendships. With our listeners, I want to give, hope, give a sense of community. And I hope that from our episodes, our listeners know that they're never alone in this journey. I was talking with a young professional the other day, and, she just broke down and says to me, my mom is 66 with, mid-stage Alzheimer's, and this isn't something my girlfriends want to talk about over happy hour or, where do I go to get that? And I thought, my gosh, I would love to chat with you about that and just be someone that can listen. I want to pull back that, the layer of the onion and make this something that maybe you would talk to your girlfriends at happy hour about, or the guys over football or something, grab a beer. Understand that this is a part of life. It can be sad, it can be happy, but give a sense of community and build friendship. I would love for that to be something that comes out of this for us.
Me too. And I was just thinking, Susan, that, we should have a way that people who listen to this podcast can communicate back to us and say, hey, what about this topic? And, will you talk more about whatever? And so I think we should have some type of email or portal that we can do that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. All of our listeners can reach out or submit any sort of question. Our email address is theaginggame239@gmail.com. So I think, we're going to obviously launch a website and social media platforms, but definitely reach out at our website or our email anytime, submit questions, topics, anything you would love to ask or learn about, we would love to provide that.
Comments, criticism, we'll take it all.
Yeah, definitely. We want to know it all, right? Absolutely.
So, we have an agenda of different topics that we're going to be covering in these different episodes. And so the different topics that we're going to cover, kind of tying it back into the game of chess, is how do you create your strategy? How do you create your strategy? What are the important components to that? We want to talk about destinations and locations, and so we have some kind of interesting stories about destinations and locations, and some could be at your home, some could be living somewhere else, some could be even on a cruise ship. So we're gonna talk and dig into that a little bit further. We're going to talk about the dollars and cents, and that's the cents with an S. And we're going to talk about, how do you pay for care? How do you, how much does care cost? So we're going to dig into that to give people some great information on that. We're going to kind of talk about, like, how do you see yourself in the future? And, what does your future look like, and how do you look in that crystal ball, and how do you envision, and how do you plan for that future? We're also going to talk about what local resources are available. So we're going to have a guest speaker to talk about which local services are available. Some could be free, some might be, could be a charge, but we're going to dig into that, especially about veterans and veterans benefits. And, so we really want to touch base that, because there's a lot of resources in this area that people may not know about. So we want to dig into that. We're going to talk about how do you get your ducks in a row with legal planning and estate planning. And so we have an estate attorney that's going to come and talk to us and share his wisdom. And, so we're going to really, talk about how do you get your ducks in a row? How do you pre-plan for the future? And, a lot of people, may not have an estate plan, or maybe they think they have a will that was created 10 years ago, from Michigan, and, is it relevant here in Florida? So we're going to talk about that and use an expert to that. And then we're going to talk about health and wellness, and how do you stay healthy? How do you, what are some things you can do to slow down the aging process, from, it could be dermatology, could be dental, could be exercise, nutrition. So we're going to, again, we're going to bring experts in to talk in more detail about, how do you slow down the aging process and the best you can. And so it should be good. And we're very excited, because we, I think covering all these topics, I think will be an initial,
we're given a good broad range of topics in season 1. That's what I love, that we kind of wanted to, if we're thinking about, you've talking to someone and you want to give them a plan, what are all the different silos they need to cover? So I think season 1, we really went broad. We got a wide range of topics. And then I love that in season 2, we can start to drill down more specifically into each one. I think that'll be really exciting for the listener. All right. So when to hear us and how to hear us, right? That's the important part. So starting July 2nd, every Tuesday, our episodes will launch, and it will go through August. And then you can hear us or watch us on YouTube, as well as all of our social media platforms. You can find us online and on social media at The Aging Game with Bruce and Susan.
And again, our email is theaginggame239@gmail.com. So again, theaginggame239@gmail.com. And so please, watch us and listen to us and share your feedback. And we're very excited, and we're happy to be able to share our knowledge and our experience with you.
Yes, very well said. I look forward to seeing everyone with our first episode on July 2nd.